So this is a quick tutorial to show you our new cinematic video generator, how it works, and just to show you an overview of the user interface and actually how to work with it. When you load the user interface, which has been covered in a different tutorial, this is where you land, and I just want to show you. Let's start with some of the things that you can actually change right from your screen. You will notice that once it opens, first of all, it adopts the settings of your browser. But if you want to change, perhaps you want to change this into a lighter color, you can just come here and go to settings. So you can change one or two settings that would make your user interface look different. The first one is obviously the theme. Maybe you want a lighter color. You can change from system setting, you can change from dark, and you can alternate between light and dark. So you can change that, and that will give you a lighter color. I prefer mine dark, so I'll take that back to dark. The other thing that you can change, if you look at it, right now it is not on wide mode. It is occupying a small central part of my screen. If you want it to occupy the entire screen, you can go to wide mode. This will turn on your screen so that it uses the entire width of the screen. So if I check that, and now I come out, now it is occupying the entire screen. So let me take you through some of the things that you will see here. The cinematic video generator is meant to work offline. This is simply an app that gets your visuals, gets your audio, and simply mixes them into a YouTube quality video without needing to use video editing softwares like Premiere Pro or DaVinci or Final Cut or any other that you use. So this simply goes straight from mixing your visuals, your audio, and gives you a video without needing to edit anything. This is where you come. You'll see an option to validate your channels. To validate simply means to check whether your channels are ready to run. That means it's going to test whether they have, whether your channel is missing something. Like in this case, you can see this has no background assets, and therefore you need to add either images or videos. Those are the ones that will be used in your video. So to validate, that is all that does. You have an option to change the quality. Quite frankly, standard is YouTube optimized. You don't need to change this, and you'll find that you will not probably get any more mileage out of changing this, because this is quite well optimized. Of course, if you change to high quality, you will see more quality, but it's obviously going to take more render time. There is also the fast preview that you can change. You can change to fast preview, or you can change to high quality. But like I said, for most use cases, especially if your aim is to upload to YouTube, standard is really the default mode. So often that is where it defaults to, and that is where it is set. So for most people, you won't need to change this. Now here, like we said, the channel details are here. You can skip a channel so that it is omitted from a particular run. So if, for example, I hit that, then this channel will not be included in this run. However, if I don't, I have two options. If I have audio, it's going to give me an option. This is where it gives me two options: automatic rotation, as well as using a specific background. Automatic rotation means that it's going to cycle through all the visuals that you have in your visuals database, and it's going to rotate them intelligently so that it gives you a video that is not monotonous. However, you can also choose to use a specific background. For example, if you have a particular asset that you want to use, you can select one out of the many that you may have in that particular channel. And the same case goes for all the channels. And you can add as many channels as you want. If you want to do multiple videos, you can actually generate multiple videos at once without needing to edit in any video editor. So this is basically all there is to this. And once you select a particular background asset that you want to be used as a specific background, then it's going to loop that all through. So even if you have a mix of 10 minutes or 60 minutes or even 2 hours or 3 hours, it's going to use that. If you use automatic rotation, obviously now it depends on how many assets you have, so that it can actually rotate through all of them, and it breaks your video into segments so that it is able to give you a video that is not monotonous. So this is on the user interface. Perhaps I just need to show you where you deposit that. Once you unzip your file that you downloaded from our website, this is where you're going to come, and this is the file that you use to launch the cinematic video generator. And once you double click this is what launches your interface. For the channels, this is where you just come. You can add more channels here, and all I need to point out here is that in this particular place, the ones that you really need to look out for is simply where you input your audio. The input audio, you just put either MP3 or WAV file. That one comes there. The output is where your final rendered video is going to be deposited once it is done. And you don't need to do anything else there. Assets is where you deposit your visuals. We have 3 folders here. The first one is the background. This is where you put all the assets that you want to be included. They could be videos, they could be images, and this is where the app will be getting the visuals for each particular video. The CTA is call to action. So if, for example, you have icons like the ones we use on YouTube for like, share, subscribe, you put them here, and then they are going to be cycled through. If you want your logo included, you put it at the identity, and that is all there is to that. Once you have done that, once your channels are ready to run, and you have confirmed that you have selected whether you want it to be automatic rotation or you want to use a specific background, and maybe there's a channel you want skipped, you can probably just skip that channel. Then once you do that, you hit generate, and it's going to create your video. So once you hit generate, it's going to go ahead and generate